Hi there, my name's Stu. I'm one of the people working with Extinction Rebellion. I've been with Rising Up for over 2 years and was one of the 15 people in a cafe in an all-day meeting in April that decided, let's try and launch a rebellion. So I've been around, I've been full-time with it, and I've been in many of the different working groups. And I'm here today to tell you a little bit about how we've been organising and how we're going to be changing that. So first of all, I'm going to take you down to this sheet here, which explains, so in that group of 15 people in April, we decided to make a rebellion happen, we're going to have to split up our energy into different working groups. And we came up with these 5: regenerative culture, outreach and training, media messaging, action logistics, and infrastructure. And I was the coordinator of one of the coordinators of the infrastructure group. And in order to decentralise power a little bit, we decided that each of these groups needed to have 2 coordinators. So you can see the double lines that are put here indicating 2 coordinators, and those 10 people made up the coordination group. And that allowed information to flow throughout the system, making sure that the whole system was aware of decisions that were being made that affected the whole system, and each of the coordinators could go back to each of their working groups and get on with their area. Infrastructure included finance, and then I think media messaging included the art team as well. And you can see little pointers I put on here to indicate that each of these had subgroups working on specific things. And the outreach and training became integration as well, and became a much larger part of it. Regenerative culture included action, well-being and such. And this worked for us for the 6 months that it took to bring us to November. And we, have managed to bring together everything that Extinction Rebellion has been so far based on this structure. And this is probably a really good structure. It started with the 15 of us. We quickly got more people involved, but it's probably a decent structure for around sort of 20 to 50 people working together with the different subgroups. The problem with this structure is that there was a coordination group that's in the centre. It had far too much decision-making power, but also once things got underway, the amount of work that was coming to them was just far too much, and there was problems of overwhelm as well as the problems of concentrated power. So we got together and we formed a group that's called the Review and Restructure Group, and that group is tasked with saying, okay, we got this system, it's not quite working, so we've got to do something else, we've got to move to a different way, we're going to review what's going on, what the problems are, and then restructure. That's an ongoing process, but part of the restructuring has already taken place, and it was to break up the coordination group into 3 strategy groups. We've got the events, gatherings and action strategy, the movement strategy, and political strategy groups. And so they'll be working on strategy, and that just means that the different areas can be decided in by a greater number of people doing more specific things. And so meetings can be more efficient, where people are working on their specific stuff, and somebody who's working on the movement side of things doesn't have to worry about what's going on with the gatherings and such. On top of that, we've got the mandate startup team, the XR Council, and the Guardianship Team. The Guardianship is an advice-giving team that is people that have been around for Rising Up for a while, and can look, know some of the why things are done the way they are done, and so can give advice, and also is just a bit of a watchdog to say, hang on, is the stuff that the strategy teams are coming up with, does that align with what's come before, the principles and values, the vision, purpose, and mission. The XR Council isn't yet formed as of December 2018, but it's hopefully going to be a sort of final decision-making body that is going to be there in case the strategy teams otherwise can't make a decision. But hopefully these teams will figure out a strong line of communication, and the dotted line here indicates a line of communication is really badly needed. The mandates team is a team that's helping to facilitate teams to work in the mandating system that is coming up. and that's hoping to get a little bit of an overview of things, but also really just help people to figure out that they can write their own mandates and get on with stuff. And there's certain things that people, obviously there's only one website for XR National in the UK, at the rebellion.earth. I guess that's the international website, and so things have to go through the people who have access to the website to do that. But there's other things where it's just like, if you want to do an action, or you want to do an event, or you want to do some kind of training, or you want to do a retreat, then go ahead and do that, and that's not going to be stepping on people's toes. Rather than the original 5 working groups with their subgroups, now we've splitting it out into regen, community, actions, and media. Each of these has got somebody in each of the 3 strategy teams. And on top of that, you can see at the bottom here, we've got the support teams. And so that's like infrastructure, the tech and systems, the finance, the facilitation training and such. You can see, I'll just put my password in, but if you go to risingup.org.uk, and then if you go to /transitioning, you'll be taken to a document, a Google Doc, that shows how this proposal was made, how these teams came into being. The coordination team was then disbanded in this proposal. There's also, this is the document used by the Reviewing Restructure group, and so there's loads in here about some of the ideas that we've got. Only the proposal that's in there so far is approved, but other parts might give you an indication of what's coming. If you go to risingup.org.uk/organism, you'll be taken to this, and this gives a bit more of a detailed mapping of the different working groups that are happening. This is not yet complete, it's still a work in progress. If you hover on something, you'll see that it becomes just limited to the things that are connected or close by. And if you click on it, and maybe you have to click on the little thing on the left over here, it pops out and it tells you, here's the link to the agenda of the minutes, and here's the mandates of what that group has to do. And some of them it's got the contacts listed as well. So hopefully this will give you a bit of a chance to review what's going on, and get to see how things are coming together with Extinction Rebellion in 2019. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. When you're doing stuff, I really hope that you are keeping in mind why we're doing this. The world is dying, this planet is dying, and a global rebellion is so badly needed, and so that's what we're trying to do, is build up towards April, a global rebellion against the systems that are killing us, the governments that are blind to this, and the momentum behind this system that is driving us over a cliff, and we can stand up and say no together. So get organised, figure out locally where you can do stuff, figure out where you can plug in to making this as incredible as it needs to be to challenge the might of the system that stands in place, and transition to a place where we as humans can get on with each other and live on this planet in a way that gives people the space to live and gives life the space to grow. Thanks a lot.